Today is approximately 1 month since this last view like this and a tour of the Linwood Community Garden on Linwood Street, Utica, New York. It's been raining overnight and into the early morning hours. Makes photography possibly a little better. No bright sunshine and dark shadows, so it makes for a clear view. You can hear and see various and sundry refuse. Not only have I been mowing, I completed mowing yesterday and string trimming. Now there will have to be some garbage detail. This grapevine is becoming, I don't want to say unmanageable, but quite large. To the west, in western New York, there are grapevines there. They are not nearly as big as this. They're trimmed back. Obviously, these are going to have to be trimmed. And anyway, it's just one of the things that I haven't been doing. So entering here at the south gate, the south beds and their peppers. So trimming not easily done along these fences, but with the right tool for the job. I had accidentally, you can see these, I don't know if those are squash. The peppers here are doing their thing. I wasn't really paying attention yesterday, and I brutalized this squash plant. Shirley was unhappy at me. That being said, I thought it was burdock. I was not thinking or really looking. You're like, dude, it was standing up very, very straight like a burdock plant. Been handing out vegetables, large quantities. This table is tilted on its side so that it's just an ordinary card table, so water doesn't stand on it. It's been squash and not squash. What was it? Squash will be here. These flowers weren't flowering. Well, the rain. There was a very large, these beds, it took me a little more work. They've not been always mowed in the past. This one little area that's left had something growing in here that was 12 feet high. And it had a woody, not hollow stem. I thought for a split second it might be giant hogweed, that is. And of course the micro park area, as I like to call it. Come to think of it, I think I forgot to string trim there. Oh, it's the end of the world. String trimmed everywhere else, just about. Our fuel pile. Place where I normally make my recordings for my YouTube channel here. We have a riding lawnmower, which I've chosen not to use. We have a self-propelled push mower, hand mower. Decided to use that instead. I suppose I might use if the push mower was, well, I don't know. Some of them are very, very light. I have a friend that has like 20 lawnmowers. Been allowing some of these plants to spill out on the ground and not trim around them because they're taking up larger amounts of space. This grapevine is big. And then the other one here, the rhubarb here. Maybe I'll have to trim that grass out of there. We're lacking staking for our many tomato plants. That being said, True Lee has done an excellent job. I hit that rock with the lawnmower hidden here underneath these. I don't know if they're squash or what they are. They've been stunted by a lack of water, or I don't know if it's soil pH or what their problem is. These two rows have not done as well as so many of the other ones. These others have done much better. Reaching fruiting stage now. Crops are being harvested, and this area here has been allowed, because its beds lacking wood, to just become one large bed. With the rain that we've been getting, having to mow more often, just not the end of the world, but I worked hard and was able to get the majority of this done within 5 hours, or all of it really, and all the work that you see here, keeping everything mowed. This place is very three-dimensional. You could come in here, and if these raised beds weren't here, you could mow this entire place with a wide deck mower in probably 20 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe not even that. But because there's so many beds, and the unique sizes, it takes about 5 hours, 4 to 8 hours to really get this done well, make it look very presentable. I refrain from trimming this squash that's been climbing out of here. One of the co-laborers with the garden here had pointed out to me, these are rain barrel water collection points here that you saw in the foreground there. And one of these individuals complained to me, or at least notified me, and said, there's lots of mosquito larvae in our rain barrels. And I said, just put some vegetable oil in there. That'll solve that problem. Sure enough, it did. A little bit of vegetable oil in there, no more mosquito larvae. Both the wheelbarrows set up there for rainwater catchment. So this is the Linwood Community Garden, mid so-called August. In fact, this more rearward area there, I've pondered. Here's where I sometimes make my YouTube videos here. It's really, really sunny. I've mowed in here, maybe not so much this time, but it's so dark in here that no grass grows in here, and this bed here is shaded pretty much most all the day, although I am aware of certain types of crops, foliage and what have you, that would be grown in a shaded bed. I mowed this out. Truly promptly filled it with crops. It had been left grown up by the previous year's mowers, and I've determined that I would clear as many of the areas as possible. I don't know what types of apples. The reason I came over here is having the apples come in. Don't know what variety these are, but they're coming in nicely. So, a monthly tour of the Linwood Community Garden, bringing organic vegetables, I don't remember what this is. It's created some difficulty mowing in here with it spilling out all over the ground, but I just pushed the mower underneath it. So realistically, for those that are determined, 2 people can do this type of garden. Truly could take care of all the beds. She already does 80 to 90% of all the beds here. And I do the mowing. Although realistically there should be more people involved, but for whatever reason at this season and juncture, there are less individuals involved in local community gardening. Truly spends a lot of time over here in her trellised area here. I generally don't need to mow in there. You can see where I mowed and didn't mow here. This is a beautiful little cul-de-sac that Truly has created here. She's much shorter than I am. I have to bend over to come in here. So all in all, don't know what types of I haven't seen one like that that's striped like that before. The west corner, The peppers, predominantly 3 beds of peppers in this locality here. So this concludes the Linwood Community Garden tour for so-called mid-August. We'll been calling it the micro park on the hot sunny days. These trees back here provide beautiful shade. I put that chair there day before yesterday, and I was back here earthing. No dogs coming in here to defecate. So and of course we've diligent to keep our messes picked up. If any, i.e. sharp things, hopefully. So you can enjoy walking around barefoot like you did when you were young. It's a marvelous feeling to return to. Possible camping opportunities here in the micro park. So this concludes today's tour of the Linwood Community Garden.